Now in this video we're going to have a look at how to make a climbing structure the way the locals actually do it here. And you can see the start of it up here. It's a smallish one, they're usually a lot bigger as well. I'm going to start growing things like yam, beans and also a type of cucumber on these trellises. You'll get to see what that looks like in a while. But the cool thing about it is it creates a kind of a canopy, and that's really important when the sunshine comes later on in the year as well. Finally we have the rain here, so now it's time to chop some weeds, use them for nutrients as well. And I have plenty of weeds everywhere, so that's really handy. Okay, let's take a look. Now it's some 3.5 hours later, it's starting to get dark. And basically I've done all the clearing. That's going to be my pile of nutrients here. And I kind of follow the contour of that rope, and I'm going to dig a trench now in here, maybe tomorrow, and stick a lot of those weeds in there as well. The plan is to get some ropes going up to that rope and then make some ropes across as well. Okay, day 2, and we're going to do a big pit. When I say we, I mean me and my kovaka. This kovaka is actually a type of cucumber. They call it kovaka here in Kerala. It's Malayalam for cucumber, I guess, but it's more closely related, I think, to pumpkin. And the first thing we're going to do is dig a big pit, and then we're going to use some of these nutrients to fill in that pit. And I'm also going to scrape off some of this good topsoil that's already nutrient rich, put it aside, and then use that for growing this kovaka. Alrighty. We dug a hole and I hit water, groundwater, which is a bit strange because the groundwater level, it's about 1.5 feet down from the top layer of the height itself. So it's down about 1.5 feet groundwater level, which is a bit strange because over there is the pond, and that's the ground level over there, and it's way deeper. So why is it actually higher? Maybe some of you might know. Why is it higher here than it's over there? That doesn't make any sense, but anyway. Okay, the next step is going to be now chop some weeds up really fine and throw them in the hole. And I also want to mention the sand here is quite good. This came out of the hole at the bottom, and this came out of the top, and there's virtually no difference. I mean, I worked with sand that is, you know, yellow in color, and this is actually brown, and this one has some organic matter to it. So I'm hoping this is going to be nutrient-rich soil. This grey stuff came out of the very bottom. Throw this fella in first. It's got a bit of woodiness to it. Even though coconut is a grass, technically, as far as I know. Some woody bits in there. First, now what the Carolans would do is they actually add some clay into this as well, and then some cow manure. Now I have neither of them, so I'm just improvising with what I got. So it's going to have to be weeds, some compost, and a little bit, I have a very tiny bit of cow manure that I can actually just add around the plant itself. That's it, all them nutrients. Right. I so wish I had a shovel. Good old Irish shovel. That would make life a lot easier for me. I'm not used to using these tools. Okay, so next step. This is quite important. So I'm going to add some cow dung, and some of it is still a little bit fresh. So I'm going to also add some biochar, and that's in order for the bugs to not go into the freshish cow manure. The problem is if the bugs come in, they start eating the roots of the plants, and we definitely don't want that as well. So some of it is well broken down already, but I don't want to take any chances. Lovely. Let's show you the biochar. These are actually coconut shells, and the trick with biochar is if it sounds like glass, then you know it's done really, really well. And ideally I would powder it down because it would have more surface area for the bacteria to live in, because bacteria actually live in this. But I don't know, it's been a long day. I'm just gonna throw it in and hope for the best. Just mix it all up. Now the last step is to throw on a big load of compost as a kind of a ground cover, but also, of course, the nutrients for at a later stage as well. Here we go. These two. You might be wondering, why am I putting in that much nutrients? Well, you must remember that as it climbs, I don't want it to exhaust itself, so I want it to have all the nutrients it wants. And I might actually bury it a little bit deeper, because that stem will put out secondary roots as well. There you go. Yeah. And with pumpkins, a lot of the roots will go out like that, but some of the feeder roots will go down as well. So in time, this whole thing might sink a little bit, but it's going to give a lot of nutrients to these two plants. And that's it. All I have to do now is make the climbing structure, and I'm going to put 2 sticks up, because they're going to be a bit more sturdier than just doing ropes. And then we should have lovely, lovely, lovely and tons of cucumber. That's the hope anyway. Now one more thing I wanted to show you is, of course you're well familiar with my compost heap. It's turning into a do-nothing kind of compost heap because, okay, I stuck in some tapioca, but check this out. Here, look. Here's the cucumber we are actually trying to grow. And it's just kind of starting to cover all this area here. What's even better, it's at the back there. I don't know if you can see it. Actually, you can probably. It's just climbing up that tree here, all by its merry self. Even up the tapioca here. It's climbing away, happy out. And I'm just like perplexed, because there's me working my you know what off. And here it is, just growing by itself. And here we have even, I think these are yam. So what I'm trying to do over there, I'm doing here already without doing anything. There's also a pineapple growing just there. So happy days. Now I want to mention quickly 2 things as well that are of interest. I'm going to do some bottle gourds and passion flowers as well here at the back. Maybe here at the front some bottle gourds and at the back some passion flowers. I just visited a natural farmer, and he was basically telling, he's been doing natural farming for 30 years here in Kerala, and he was telling me that they do a kind of a 13-day cycle of different plants that they grow, and I'll get into that more in future videos. So it's not like one kind of cycle like we have in the West. It's like 13-day staggered cycles, and it's to do with the pests that you have around here. And you have a lot of insects and stuff that wants to eat your stuff, and if you're planting the right stuff at the right time, you're not going to have problems with pests and so on, you know. So that's a really good tip he gave me, and I'm going to follow it. And at the moment it's all about climbers and creepers, so that's what we're doing. That's it. That's heavy sand. Oh wait, I don't know if you can see the pond starting in here. So I kind of figured out why maybe the whole problem with the water table. Over there we have a whole kind of field of clay soil, and my feeling is that the clay soil continues and that there's a kind of a pond on top of that clay soil, and that's why the water table is so high here. Just a guess anyway. Right. That's it. Now next comes the weeds. And you'll notice that I'm doing a kind of a half dig, half no dig garden, because of course under this area there's never been touched before. Same in this area. So this kind of trench should recover very quickly with all the different fungi and things like that just working their way into all those nutrients as well. Weeds. Now, since we're talking about viney kind of plants, check out all this pumpkin. Look how it's spreading everywhere. All along there, all along there, and up there. And what I love about it is it's going up that coconut. You can see it all the way up there. So hopefully I'll get a nice kind of pumpkin hanging down at some stage. Oh yeah, by the way, the pumpkin, it hasn't been stolen by anybody, and no goats have tried to eat it. Because I had a pineapple actually over there and it was taken by somebody, which happens, you know. But it's ripening up now, getting yellow. So soon I'll have some seeds. This is a peppo, because the leaves are quite rough. That tells me it's a peppo. And also the kind of this stem as well, that it has these 5 distinct ridges. Yes, that's it. Can't wait to get some pumpkins or seeds out of this one, because it's doing really well here, and it doesn't get eaten by these orange flies which love pumpkin. That's why I have netting over there, and there's more coming as well. I can't see. There was one in here somewhere, and another fruit coming over there. So because it's been raining, I've been having trouble with the actual pollination. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a plastic glove, you know those bakery gloves, and I'm going to cut off the finger off that glove, and I'm going to stick it onto the flower on this fella here when he starts ripening up. Where's he gone now? It's hard to find them. He was here a minute ago. Ah, there. This guy. So another day, and he's gonna. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna put that sleeve on there, and on about 3 male flowers. And even if it's raining, no problem there. I can do my own pollination as well. Okay, that job is done now. The next step is going to be planting my yam, but also my bottle gourd seeds, which are these fellas here. I pre-soaked them for 2 days, and that just means that they'll just germinate much faster. And that means then like bugs and things like that won't actually gobble them up. Normally they take about 2 weeks to germinate, and they should come up in 3 or 4 days. The beans should come up right away. This variety, yard-long bean. I'm going to plant them. I'm going to do about 3 for both, 3 seeds per stake, And with the bottle gourd, I'm just going to let one grow to its full size, and with the beans I'm going to have maybe 3, just kind of roughly the different amounts. Okay, let's get planting, and then the last step will be to landscape this area here and put in some taro and some sugar roots as well, just as a ground cover as well. Alright, first thing is make a few mounds. I'm going to do the same for the taro as well later, but let's replant the yams in 3 mounds, and then we'll put stuff up there later once they're actually growing. Here. Right, so here we have our friends the yams. This is where the climbing shoot will come out. It's already making roots, also here and there as well. I had them in compost for about a month. And the trick here is I need to make a kind of a mound so that the roots can actually grow in the mound, and the climbing structure is only there for the yam to actually get sunlight. Anyway, let's stick them in. Fella in here, and just making sure that the tip is showing. This is some kind of ash gourd is the English name, I believe. Just check this out here, look. I have these netting around these gourds here. They're like cucumber. They produce a lot of seeds as well. And basically it's growing at the moment about 7 or 8 of these. They're coming at different stages. I'm putting netting around it, of course, because I don't want the fly to make holes in it. I'll show you that now in a minute. But look at it grow. It's like we actually didn't know what it was at the beginning, because it showed up in the compost, and we called it anaconda pumpkin because it just grows like 1 meter every day. It's crazy. And then it makes like loads and loads of these gourds. Here's another one, but you can see here that's the fly getting in there. So I started putting netting around each one, even at the baby stage already, and then I have no problem. Now I'm just going to actually talk a little bit about my sweet corn project. It looked a lot better about 3 weeks ago, before the pumpkin actually started growing into it and killing the hell out of it. So this looks like terrible, but I managed to harvest some sweet corn. I'll show you that now in a minute. But I'm also planning to plant, I have another 200 seeds of elite sweet corn of the same variety. I tried this one first because it wasn't the elite. This is the elite seeds. It came from 1,000 plants with really good quality as well. The best out of 1,000 plants. I got basically the best 100, and I took 2 seeds of each one. So I have about 200 seeds. Let me just bring you over quickly. I want to show you these. Now it's not going to look like much, okay? But I am excited. Just take a look at these guys. Now the genetic diversity, I need minimum 25 good plants. But because, I mean, these are not good plants. Like in the West you laugh at them, okay? But having said that, these sweet corn think it's autumn or spring, because they're only getting like 10 or 12 hours of daylight, like they would be used to in the West. So they're thinking, oh, it's autumn, we have to tassel up fast, basically running to seed quickly, and they don't have the chance to kind of fully develop. So the genetics is still here, and in time I can acclimatize them now that I have enough plants, plus the other ones, the 200, I'm going to surely have enough plants, and I will be able to actually basically use all this seeds here. I just might take like 3 from this one, 3 from this one, 3 from this one, and so on. Overall, just take 3 of the biggest ones from the cob, and then I can further this experiment as well. And in about 5 goes of growing it, I will be able to let them kind of grow to their full potential, which is like massive big cobs. They grow about that long, and this is super sweet corn. And people say in Kerala you can't grow sweet corn. Well, I've done it. Okay, it's not amazing, but I've done it. Now this lady farmer, she gave me some taro. This is actually the root. It gets quite big, so I'm going to make a lot of maybe 10 mounds and plant it into that. I'm also going to grow these 2 sprigs. Apparently it's a creeper, and within 2 months these 2 will cover this entire area. If anybody knows what it is, please let me know at home, so I can identify it as well. Now this is the passion flower or passion fruit, and it's at the moment, it's not really very big, so I'm going to wait until it gets a bit bigger, and then I'm going to stick it at the back of the climbing structure.